Welcome back to Know Your Charity. We are discussing the Jabulani Learning and Feeding Scheme with Sister Salama Davids. Now, before we continue the discussion for the viewers at home, if you would like to make a donation, if you would like to make a pledge towards the organization, the banking details are going to be coming up on the screen for you to go ahead and contribute, whether it is Lillah, Sadqa, or Zakat. So we are going to be having that graphic coming soon onto the screen. There we go. It's the Jabulani Feeding and Learning Center, Standard Bank, the branch code 051001, the account number 243123892. So those are the banking details that you can go ahead and make your contribution. Sister Salama, before we go ahead and discuss some of the programs that the Jabulani Feeding and Learning Center are having, especially during Ramadan, I just want to talk about parkour in itself. I mean, just the other day, I read a report that South Africa is the most unequal society in the world. And, you know, when you mention about the problems that parkour has, you can see it right there. And you mentioned apartheid at the start. The legacy of apartheid is still there. And it's prevalent in parkour, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. In fact, earlier this morning, I had a discussion with the teachers at the Darussaad Institute, and we were speaking about how, who describe parkour as a prison. It's a prison in a sense, a prison with no bars. But the kids growing up there don't really know life beyond parkour because they are so poor, they can't go beyond parkour. So they're always walking the streets, playing in the parks, not going to school. They can't afford to do anything else but just to walk the streets. That's the reason why the madrasa was created, is to keep kids off the streets, to keep them occupied, to feed their minds with different things. But how amazing it would be if we could equip our kids to understand that life beyond parkour is so much different, and equip them for the much bigger world out there. So yes, we see that every day in parkour. We see it's just a different way of life. But they're not in a position to change their condition, many of them, but we need to empower them to make them understand that they have the power to change their condition. And that is the sole purpose of Jabulani, to change the conditions of people. Parkour is not a huge area, but it has many people in that area. So the task is huge. The job is very difficult at times. We need that support, be it whether you are able to support financially to make a donation, or come and visit the center and see how you can contribute to make a change in the facility. If you're able to, give some of your time as a teacher, as a psychologist, as a social worker, see how you can contribute. Come and visit the center. The center operationally runs very well. It's a good space for kids to come, for elderly to come, for anybody to come that wants help and that needs help. I mean, we have iftar every night. The first night of iftar was hectic, but alhamdulillah, everybody broke their fast. Everybody left there with their suhoor or whatever they couldn't finish, and they left. And I mean, on screen now you see the buka bucket. So we also provide a full iftar meal for people to come and sit down in the center in a civilized manner to break fast and have a meal as a community. Then the buka bucket also, the madrasa kids daily, they are given a bucket filled with goods for suhoor, cereal, milk, some sugar, some breakfast biscuits, and a juice to drink. And you can also sponsor the book a bucket. So if you read it says book a bucket, and looks like a Afrikaans book. Yes. But in Cape Town, they called iftar. It's a Malay slang that says buka. So buka time is iftar time. And that's how the name came about. And the reason why we have a bucket is simply because we wanted to teach kids more. We wanted to give them responsibility. So they take home the bucket. The bucket has to come back clean, not broken, and all the goods that they eat in there, we teach them obviously of caring for the environment. We selected 2 colors of buckets. So yesterday we had a black bucket. They bring back the black bucket. We give them a green bucket. It's teaching them responsibility. There's so many lessons in that, to respect the property of Jabulani, understanding that they have a responsibility. They got a calendar with it to mark off the days that they're fasting, with the niyyah for iftar and suhoor. So there's lessons in everything we do. It's not about just feeding people, because if you're just feeding people, how are they going to make a difference? It's about learning. It's about doing things to educate people's way and change their way of thinking.
Alhamdulillah, and I think that is so important in terms of the mentality shift, and that makes a person better in a world which is really, really that challenging. Sister Salama, again, you mentioned about book a pot, book a bucket. For the viewers who want to make a donation, how do they get in touch with Jabulani to make a contribution, and that contribution which could help somebody who is really in dire need of food and education?
You can contact Yasmin Abrams directly. Her number is 072-708-5080. You could visit our website. All our details are on there, www.feednation.org.za. Yeah, all the information on there, our campaigns running and how you can contribute to whichever campaign. All the details are on there. Our bank details are on there. If you want to buy gas, for example, the gas contact is on there. Whichever way you want to contribute, Jabulani, all the details are on the website. This month is all about gratitude. Alhamdulillah, we are able to come together as a community. So let's just reap the Ramadan rewards. That's our hashtag. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Please follow us, like our posts, and share our posts with the world. Alhamdulillah, we've had good response. Yesterday I spoke to a lady from Canada. She's in South Africa. She's flying down to Cape Town, inshallah, at the end of the month to experience the Book a Pot campaign, where you can book a pot in one of the names of Allah, the 99 names of Allah, where the community comes together. We cook. Last year we cooked 125 pots, and then those pots get distributed to various masajids in Cape Town, and it's get fed to the underprivileged. So alhamdulillah, I got a message from the UK yesterday. So Book a Pot is going beyond the borders of South Africa. But yes, wherever you are, whenever you're in Cape Town, the center is always available for you to come visit. Come in the fantastic team of Jabulani Feeding and Learning Center, inshallah.
No, alhamdulillah. Sister Salama, the future looking ahead for Jabulani. I mean, what are some of the other projects beyond Ramadan that the organization wants to achieve to try and make sure that the communities that are being served are able to live a humane life?
So inshallah, the project is always ongoing, is our madrasa. The madrasa started with a very small amount of kids, and now the madrasa is full and we're running out of space. So inshallah, we would like to try to attain another container so we can expand our madrasa, and equipment for our teachers. So we have the bare basic resources at Jabulani's madrasa, which is Darussaad Institute. We're always needing ingredients to cook every single day. Meat has become expensive. I mean, we've got our Book a Pot campaign, but the meat is so expensive. We're currently looking for a butcher or an organization that can contribute the meat for the campaign. Inshallah, in the future, we always have our Jabulani Qurbani campaign, and that does very well, where you can do a Qurbani through Jabulani. So the projects are always ongoing. We are very innovative at Jabulani. So if there's a need and we need to create opportunities in order for the work to continue, we will find that opportunity. So like last year, we had a market. We created this market. We had the space. We created a market. The market was not only for Jabulani to make money, but because small businesses were suffering, we created a platform for them in order for them to continue their business. And that was a fantastic project. But unfortunately, we couldn't continue that. The stages of COVID kept on changing. People's financial situation changed. But we found another way of creating opportunity for us to earn some money to continue the feeding. So then we created the shop. it just never stops. We always just innovative, ready to take on any challenge at Jabulani. And that's what keeps us young. I mean, Auntie Yasmin is almost 60 years old, but when you meet her, she's full of energy, full of fire. And she never sleeps. Her
No,
family never sleeps. We never sleep at Jabulani.
no, Alhamdulillah, Sister Salama. And we will remember in our du'as, we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to grant Jabulani success, grant Jabulani the strength, and grant Jabulani the ability to continue this beautiful work that they are serving communities, serving the ummah, and eventually, making a human feel like it's human again. We say Jazakallah to you again, Sister Salama, for making the time for us.
Shukran so much for having us, guys, and shukran for all the good work that you guys are doing. Shukran so much.
Ameen, Thumma Ameen. Now, there we go. It's Sister Salama David from the Jabulani Learning and Feeding Scheme. Let's just go again through those bank details for us to wrap up, where you can make your contribution to the Jabulani Feeding and Learning Scheme. There we go. It's on the screen. Standard Bank, branch code 051 001. Account number 243-123-892, or you can visit their website at www.feednation.org.za. As Sister Salama said, you can contact Auntie Yasmin Abrahams on 072-708-5080. From myself, Faraz Patel, and the rest of the team here on Ramadan TV, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.